All right, welcome back to the next piece of this training of the Confidence to Close series and navigating your first sale as a digital agency. My name is Jeff Schwert. I've gone through the previous recordings and trainings with you as well, so you should be confident of my voice and as we go through. And today, we're talking a little bit about persuasive selling. And with Confidence to Close, you easily work with confidence knowing that the sale is yours for the taking. You'll be able to frame the conversation in a way that creates a need or desire to buy the products and services that you offer and allows your audience to make the decision for themselves, and that this product or service is one that they need. And to do that, you need to be in charge of the situation. And that doesn't mean you just show up and get in their face. That isn't taking charge. You simply use a sales equations 80-20 rule. So you now know what to say, when to say it, and when to just hit listen and observe. And to accomplish that, you're going to arrive eager, refreshed, and 100% mentally ready for the situation based on the previous trains that we've gone through. So we want to make sure that the overall piece of this is you have the confidence knowing that you can walk in, that the sale is yours for the taking if you position this properly. So let's talk a little bit about what persuasion is. What is persuasion? Well, you're likely running a growing business, trying to increase sales, or just trying to make a little extra money on the side. And you might be asking yourself, so what is persuasion? What's Jeff talking about here? Well, I define persuasion as the ability to enlighten a prospect to the solution that they should desire and make their own. So you'll be able to persuade your audience by communicating in a way that is received subconsciously. And I'll say it again. Persuasion is the ability to enlighten a prospect to the solution they should desire to make their own. And who benefits from persuasion? Well, the benefit is actually mutual. With the confidence to close, you are going through the entire process with your client in a way that ensures they feel that they're the one making the decisions and that they see and understand the benefits of working with you. You benefit because you've helped them while making a sale. And to do this, the key to sales persuasion is that you need to know that people behave in a consistent manner and have habit patterns, right? The key to sales persuasion is that you need to know that people behave in a consistent manner and that they have habit patterns. And back when I was an F-16 pilot for the Air Force, we trained rigorously on creating a common habit pattern to the point where, like, takeoffs and landings, we don't even think about. Subconsciously it happened, or just flying the airplane. It was employing the airplane. And in the event that we had to start and taxi out the jet in a combat situation in under 5 minutes, we could do that effectively. The habit pattern allowed us to accomplish this almost subconsciously with zero mistakes. It's the same thing in our daily lives. You see it when people start going to the gym regularly, it becomes a habit pattern. Marketing relies on similar patterns to create new sales. This is why when it comes to the dry cleaners, there's a tried and true marketing strategy where they have a process to get you into the dry cleaning business at least 3 times. Here's how they do it. Well, first of all, you drop off, you pick up, right? You have to drop off and then you have to pick it up. But then they give you a special offer or discount after your initial service, because if they can get you back in a third time, they're starting to create a new habit pattern for you. And why is this so effective? It's because people don't like change. It's part of what was written in the book Atomic Habits. It's small things that you do on a regular basis that will continually add up. So if you just bought a brand new Peloton bike and you're riding it, that app, that system they have, reminds you and messages you. Same thing with some of the other apps that are out there. They want you in there playing and engaging on a regular basis because they want you to form that habit pattern. So this is effective as well with businesses and creating that habit pattern. The most effective emotion that you can use when selling and going through this process and teaching this to you guys as one of the most powerful emotions that you can use is talking about the fear of loss. It's the most effective emotion you can use, and it's called fear of loss or missing out on something. It's FOMO, right? If you were to compare fear of loss versus the greed of gain, you would see that people don't spend much time and energy thinking about how they are going to gain more as they do worrying about losing something. Think about that in your life, in fact, in relation to money and relationships and things like that. Most of us tend to concentrate more on moving away from pain. And they want to get away from the fear of loss more than they want to work towards that pleasure. Am I going to lose business? Do I have something that's going to prevent people from coming to my business online or not being able to find me? Or am I not going to have repeat customers? Or can I make enough sales to be profitable? These are all grounded in the fear of loss. And a business owner might think, how can I generate more inbound leads for my business tomorrow? But they're more worried about the bad things that are going to happen if they don't get more traffic. So this is a natural survival instinct for humans to protect ourselves from loss and to find ways to move away from pain points. Most people don't allow or don't follow a simple plan towards success. They have chaos in their life, and I like to call it the honey badger syndrome. That is where you're just bouncing around from place to place and thing to thing, and you're not really stopping and focusing on one specific thing. If you watch a video of a honey badger online, you'll see that they just keep going every which way and all over the place with what looks like no clear plan or purpose. They're running around trying to accomplish a ton of things, seemingly for the purpose of doing something, in the same way people wind up running back and forth, desperately in need of a little guidance. So, by creating a simple plan that is easy to understand and execute, you can allow your prospects to understand you and see success. And this is a really key factor when I talk about, as a digital agency, getting your first sale. Keeping it simple, following a simple 3 to 5 step process, having a way to demonstrate your value up front, things like the proof of concept. Because what's going to happen is you're going to build confidence, and that confidence is going to turn into something where the business owners see that, and you'll build trust over time, and you'll continue to further build trust with how you talk to your customers and how you present yourself, because you're confident in what you're able to do. And like we discussed earlier, persuasion is all about being confident that you can fulfill on your service. And here's how you persuade others to want to work with you. There's 3 simple things that you can do. Number one, look and act the part, right? Look and act professional. So a lot of people say, fake it till you make it. Well, if you're in a business and you're a digital agency and you are working and understand that you have a solution that will solve a problem and that will actually work and you'll be able to implement it and they'll be able to see results, you're not faking it. You just don't have a sale yet. You're working towards that sale. So look and act professional. You should be confident. Be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not passionate about it, don't do it. It's going to come through. You're going to half-ass it and you're not going to see the results. And then believe in your products and services. Know that you can demonstrate the value up front. Know that they're going to work, that they're not going to break down. Know that you can provide the results that you're promising, and have a solution to be able to show those results in advance and put your customer in the driver's seat if you have that ability to do so. So, how do we do it? Well, for me, in working with local businesses, I found that one of the biggest things they tend to worry about is generating new business, right? And to do that, you need leads. And since Google and Facebook are now some of the top search engines out there, customers often click from there to the company's main website, but are left hanging when it comes to a pressing question that they may have, or they have just want something simple that they need a solution to, and then they simply bounce or leave. And anybody can have a website, but if the customer, I think, have all the traffic in the world, but if a customer can't contact the business quickly through their preferred method of communication and get a response fast, they'll leave. Basically, they'll bounce off the website and go in search of it elsewhere. You've lost probably the hottest prospect you'll ever have. So one of the premier products that my companies offer is our Lead Engage software, which connects a customer with an owner or a sales team right on the website through SMS text message communication, because that is what the preferred method of a customer is nowadays. And your comments and consumer uses their mobile phone as their primary internet and communication device, And SMS or text messaging is a preferred method to communicate, or at least start the conversation, right? So we provided, and we do provide, a solution that's tangible. It solves a problem and shows them the path they can take with our platform in a driver's seat demo. We put them in the driver's seat from the customer's perspective. Now, that's a congruent message to market match that we give our users because we understand the outcome that they want, and we show them from the perspective of their customers how easy it is to communicate with that business owner. And they're looking for a way to create fresh and relevant leads for their business. And who's more relevant than a unique visitor on their site? So we provide that solution that's tangible, demonstrate the value through statistics and a live demo up front. And this shows them the path that they can take with us. Now, for me to build rapport with my business prospect and to get them to like me and trust me enough to make that purchase or take me up on a low barrier point of entry or of the product or even a trial, they first need to know that we exist. And we accomplish this through multiple forms and modes of communication. But for those just starting out, all you really need is a simple message that matches your target audience. So, in summary, the sales equation flat out works, and the 80/20 rule is going to help make you become basically more naturally effective in understanding and gaining that confidence to close a potential sale. But it's only effective if you practice, prepare ahead of time with your trigger questions, and listen and learn for the majority of your interaction. When you can do that, you'll gain everything you need to persuade your prospect, be able to plant the seed, build rapport, and guide the conversation to the conclusion that you want. Now, that brings us to guiding that conversation through micro commitments and continuing on with the chapters as we go through the training. So, with a micro commitment, at this point, you know what to do to get started. But now it's time to get the train rolling. And we do that using the all powerful micro commitment. What you will see is that a lot of small yeses, and you've probably heard this before, can further open the doors to greater potential than you may have thought, right? If you walk through a couple small micro commitments, you're going to kick that door open. And that initial micro commitment from your prospect saying yes or taking action in your favor gets the train moving. And it doesn't need to be something really big. They might just have to agree to an agenda, agree to having a meeting with you, or going to an online demo, or agree to a trial period. What matters is that they are taking those steps towards the desired end goal. And a good example for this is that, a lot of you may be familiar with those primetime cop drama shows. They're everywhere right now. There's 15 varieties on all these channels, right? Well, I've actually gone through some interrogation training myself and been in the military and have some basic experience of how this works. Now, police interrogators have a very similar game plan to what you often see on TV. Their goal isn't to get the locomotive going as fast as possible down the train right off the track, right? Sorry, down the train tracks right off the bat. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to walk you slowly towards what they want as their end solution. They work to get that suspect to make the ever crucial initial quarter turn of that train wheel just to get it moving. And if somebody gives you one little yes, or you can get them to agree to something very small, you may be surprised at what they will do as you build upon those micro commitments. Now, obviously, getting someone in a cop drama to confess on a crime and getting a sale are two very different things, but the process is very simple. You need to start working through it and learning about the person on the other side. And once the individual you are trying to persuade doesn't want to disappoint you or cause pain or cause you pain by saying no, most people actually want to avoid causing pain or creating an uncomfortable situation for somebody else, even complete strangers. Think about things at times where you just don't do something, or you do something just to prevent pain for somebody else, often without thought about what their pain is or may be. So what you're working towards is just to get a simple yes, or one or two little things that are moving you in that right direction. It doesn't have to be an absolute yes, they want to buy right now. They don't physically even have to say the word yes. They just have to agree with you on something. And you can lead a conversation towards your desired destination by asking the right questions. Now, using your newfound talent to manipulate a conversation or to trick someone into an agreement is not with the confidence to close about. This is about attainment of the micro commitments that get you the contact, their time, and then the sale. All this is accomplished through an ethical process. You can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do right off the bat because they haven't made it their own idea yet. And you can't push a quick purchase because they'll just come back and justify a no with reasoning that this isn't what they want, or you're not the person they want to work with, or they don't think that you like them. You're just trying to get the sale. They're going to see what you're doing if it's not truly to help them as well as you, right? You need to show them that you are here to help them. Now, if you use an underhand way, customers wind up canceling their order. And even if you do get the yes, they cancel their order, they cancel their contract, or they don't return to the product, and you've lost that. You're here for the long term. And if that happens, you will also lose the trust and rapport you need to make this process work. And you will no longer be able to work the benefits of your additional services that you have because they don't want to deal with you anymore. So when you're implementing your micro commitments through the confidence to close process, just remember this. You must show a true desire to provide what they need for their business or life, and you're going to enlighten them to that. People don't do business with who they know, like, and trust. We've all heard it, but it's close, but it's not 100% true. They want to do business with people that like them, that they feel that genuinely like them and are similar to them. Think about that for a minute. They want to be liked. We all want to be accepted and liked, and that's where it truly comes from. Just because they know, like, and trust you is probably because you're projecting that you like them and there's something in common that you guys have. They want somebody that's just like them, that's very, very similar. So how do we use the micro commitments? The micro commitments are an integral part of our business model, and we've even built an entire lead generation process around them. Now, to ensure that we only speak with qualified leads and interested prospects, or our strategies that we use help us generate targeted leads through a micro commitment process. So for us, we run multiple sources of traffic to a landing page or a VSL or even curated content that we've built into our sales funnels. There's different ways that you can drive traffic. I do this for my family's rental property. I use this into my own digital agency on how to generate leads for your business, how to communicate with your hottest leads for your HVAC business, however you want to set this up. And we then drive them to a traffic that either has the opt-in to do a one-on-one demo or a basically video sales letter. And the first micro commitment that we want to get from a potential prospect is to get them to see a banner or open and read an email or simply click through to our lander. We want them to take that first step, right? That's actually a micro commitment in the process. And that's the top of your funnel, right? You want to top to middle to bottom of your funnel. So that's my first yes. Essentially, they're saying yes to I want to learn more information. And it's a micro commitment. I see that as a yes. This small action is movement towards the end result that I want, as they now have started down the qualification process for me. We're going to filter out and find the best prospects for our business by going through this qualification process. So we normally send them to a landing page that makes them an offer congruent to the initial message. Now, in this case, all they have to do is put in their name and phone number. Now, they made a micro commitment to ask for information. And once they take this step, now we have their contact information and can put them in the driver's seat from their customer's perspective if we're demoing our lead engage software, and communicate with them directly right on the spot if it's during our normal business hours. This is another micro commitment and continues in our sales process, the demo and sales progress process congruently, right? Because we're demonstrating to them what their customers are going to see with that particular software. Now, you would set this up for whatever software that you're using or whatever your service you're offering as they take those next micro commitments. Now, at this step, we now the business for our platform and our software, most likely the owner or person that is running their marketing is the person that I'm now in contact with and is looking for more information and has seen and understands the basics of how our software works. We consider this a huge qualifier, and it flags them as a huge, highly qualified hot prospect. And since they've taken multiple small steps to be so close to their end goal, they've seen how this work. We generate a large number of trials and convert those trials into sales. We then, if they don't activate right then, place them into a follow-up sequence where we text, email, and contact them through our sales team via phone or offer a demo and trial. And in many cases, the business will either attend a personalized one-on-one demo for our platforms, or they may just take a trial offer and do it themselves, right? A DIY scenario. These micro commitments help get that train rolling. This gives our team a strong start so we can proceed with throwing more coal on the fire. I can move forward using preformed questions and emotional triggers to get the desired outcome I want to get, which is that big yes and a long-term customer and client down the road. When I go in there after the micro commitment, I have the ability to run an online software demo or walk in poised as a consultant versus being a salesperson. This makes the interaction significantly different for both myself and the prospect. I can work with them and ask very specific, guiding trigger questions. Here are some of the questions that I like to ask a business owner. What do you think about your overall marketing plan or lead generation strategy? 80-20 rule, ask the question, be quiet. How are you communicating with website visitors or your hottest leads online? A lot of the time at that question, they stumble. I don't know. We aren't. You're unraveling, peeling back the onion. What is the one thing that's not perfect about your lead generation strategy yet? And obviously, you would tweak this depending on what service and offer you have. Obviously, for us, it's lead generation. It's talking to customers off their website for lead engage. But if you're going to use this question, it's a truly powerful question. What is the one thing that's not perfect about blank yet? Save that question. That question is worth all the time that you've set up from here. Next, do you have a plan to communicate with potential customers looking for you as their solution right now? Or do you have a plan to communicate with customers that are looking for your service right now? Most likely they're going to say no, or they have something that you could offer a better solution to. They know there are things that may not be perfect. Part of the effectiveness of the 80-20 rule is you listen to their answers. You listen to their answer to your question. Listen to their answers to your question. Key point there, right? 80-20 rule. Listening. And you learn the things that they want to improve. It'll come right out. Don't worry. It's super really easy. You can then take those pain points and align them with your products or services to help them find a solution to their problem. By asking emotion triggering questions and pulling up and discovering that pain point for them or with them, you allow them to open themselves up like a book and share what they feel is wrong with their business. It allows you to insert the idea and enlighten them to the fact that they need your product or services. So you're navigating them down the sales path by laying down the tracks to where you want them to go. From this kind of start, I've had people say, all right, how do we get started? Or let's do this. And I haven't even gotten to my actual close yet. Right there, we're ready to go. By knowing the desired outcome across the entire process, I can rely on my marketing roadmap to get me all the way through to a sale. And it doesn't have to be complicated. We keep it simple. The way we use this system is to initiate this micro commitment process by getting them to either read an email, get a direct mail piece, and then call us, or just simply contact us and reach out based on our marketing. We call them after we send the initial contact, and we get them to make a decision to meet, whether it be online or in person. Most of the time, it's remotely online through a demo. They have made an initial micro commitment to read, follow up, or answer the phone, say yes, and make a decision to meet with me. I'll actually ask them, what is it that made them decide to invest the time to start looking at a possible solution to their problem? Especially if they're not going down the path, they're not giving the micro commitments. What was it that made you decide to come on this demo today? And at this point, one of two things are going to happen. They're going to give you an acceptable answer, which is they're going to start telling you why they need your service as they talk and converse with you, or they're going to give you an unacceptable answer, which is something like, I just want to talk with you, so tell me what you've got. And the latter is not an acceptable answer for me anywhere in the micro commitment process, because if somebody just wants to know what I have to offer them, they are not valuing who I am, and they are not valuing my time. That means that they will not be valuing your time when you're servicing them, because they don't see the value in what you have. You're qualifying them as well. So we talked about the sales equation and how it flat out works. The 80-20 rule is going to help you become more naturally effective in persuading people, but it's only effective if you practice, prepare ahead of time, and you listen and learn for the majority of your interaction. When you can do that, you will gain everything you need to persuade your prospect, be able to plant the seed, build rapport, and using the questions that we've covered today, guide the conversation to the conclusion that you want. So in the next training that we're going to cover is we're going to cover setting up what I like to call the anti-sell, and how to position yourself to quickly get that sale by not selling to the business owner from there.